Well, we're right here doing the first guide of injector swap here. So, what you need first is the basic tooling for do this job. This is not rocket science, but this is not a 5-minute job also. So, this is going to be a step-by-step. Thank you, John Banner at fuelinjectorconnection.com. This is the time right now. Later we're going to find out how long it took to me to do this injector swap. Now we took off the cover and it looks like this. 3 bolts right here, okay? Now we're gonna remove every single clip from the injectors. You gotta push here. Push the clip. Okay, then we pull out all the injector wires, one by one. Now we can see the 4 wires off here. And the other wires here, they're off. You can see the injectors there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, same process from the passenger side. Now we're gonna take off this stuff. Well, we're going to take off this cable here, this linkage of the trolley bulb. You have to pull here. When it's out, it's gone here. And then this other one by special secure ring here. This one goes off with a screwdriver. You gotta put it here, and that's it. And then you take off the linkage cable off like this. So this is free now. Okay, now I gotta take off this 3 bolts off. And now with the 3 bolts off here, you take off this so you can get access to the plenum. Now we gotta take off the MAF sensor and this power duct. These were very easy to take off here, like this. Now I jump to the passenger side to see what it looks like. It's the same. Okay, now we gotta make sure the connections of the injector wires are off, and then we're gonna proceed to remove these bolts of the plenum. As we can see now, the wires are completely off the injectors of the passenger side injectors. That's the picture we are at the moment. Now we're going to take this big bad boy off. Well, I'm taking all the bolts off right here. One here. All this, you got to go to the factory service manual to see how much torque to apply then when you're rolling up again, when you're assembling again. You're going to need to lose these runners, and you're gonna need a long T40 Torx wrench to put here to access to this bolt here, to this one for the 9 injector, this one that's loose, completely loose, and to this one on the back here, that it's not easy to access here. So it's gonna be a real hard task. Now we're going to take off at the back of the plenum. You need a 16-inch wrench that I got it right here by my side to take off the vacuum hose that goes to the bolster of the brakes. Once that it's loose, as you can see right here, we are going to lose the passenger side runners. Now that the runners are loose, we are going to proceed to lift. This is what I'm doing at the moment, so we can gain access to the fuel rail. We are going to remove the gaskets here. Now our mission is to take off this provision of fuel that goes here to the 9 injector, and we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts to take off the fuel rail. One of the important things right here is that the runners has 2 cross bolts that goes from the inside. One you see it right here, that you get access from under the distributor, right there. You can see where I'm bolting at. Okay, and the other one is this one, that you get access from here. Without these 2 bolts, the runners are not loose, not completely loose, so you cannot take the fuel rail off. Now that I took this cross bolt off, it's right here, and this one's too, that goes right here. The runners are loose, as you can see. so I can modify them to unbolt this fuel rail bolts here. So I'm gonna take off this, but before we take off the fuel rail, we gotta take off these two fuel lines connections here. Now I did remove the 4 fuel rail bolts. This has to be with the runners loose. Once the runners are loose, now I'm gonna remove the fuel lines here. That and the 9 injector 9 line that's going here outside. Now that the 9 injector connection here it's unbolted and the fuel lines are disconnected right here too, we're going to proceed to take off the fuel rail. What I did, I had to remove the passenger side runner to gain access free to the fuel rail. Now we got the fuel rail off. This is the fuel rail. Now we are going to work on the removal of the injector process, you know. These injectors here have little clips and we have to slowly take them off here like this. Like that. We're gonna reuse the clips. That's it. Now we're going to the process all over again. Inverse process. You gotta make sure everything is clean and everything is good. And we are gonna reassemble again. Well, back with the fuel rail in place, with the new injectors here, we are going to retighten and reassemble everything, all in the back process. Make sure you don't forget anything, like this bolts here, and everything that might be possibly lost. Okay? So here we go. We're gonna secure the fuel rail, not all the way to the bottom because we're gonna need some free space. So let's work. Okay, one important step right here. It's before you assemble everything, make sure you tighten off the 9 injector provision if available, the fuel rail bolts, 4 of us, and the fuel lines. Okay, then we're gonna connect every injector just for testing purposes. We're gonna check out if there are some leaks. That's pretty important. Before you assemble everything, you gotta check out for leaks. I'm gonna put the ignition on. I put back the plenum in place. Don't forget to bolt everything, alright? And that's it, man. That's it. This is not ready yet, but I think an hour it's gonna be so. Well, everything is back in place, as you can see. And let me check the time. That's the time. I don't know at what time I started this, but this is the actual time here. Can you see? Okay. I'm gonna inspect it once again for leaks. And what the hell is going on here? That's the time. Okay, I'm gonna inspect once again for leaks, and I'm gonna start the car. Thank you to John Banner at fuelinjectorconnection.com here. Here, right here. Okay, here it goes. There's no helicopter now.